lot of positive love to everyone who are into the protest tomorrow. And also owing to the fact that this is a safe space enough for you to understand that just because you're not going to be showing up physically does not mean we do condemn your efforts. It's just that after being an online participant for a very long time, which is also very much appreciated, this is the one time where we want to harness that physical substance within maybe, guy, what's going on with my tongue? Within the movement, yes. So I am in a chunky earrings. Mimi, I am obsessed. I started wearing the gold ones, and I think...
No, she wears it every day.
Yes, but you cannot announce that. Doxing. But yeah, now I wear them every day and everywhere for absolutely everything, and I feel like they make me feel so present every time I hear the bangle. I can tell myself, Windin, I know. I can be able to remind myself that I'm okay, that I'm alive, that I'm there. But I want to share a few things that happened to me across several protests that maybe you should think about in terms of preparing yourself psychologically. You will feel the need to retract. You will feel the need to go a bit back. You'll feel the need to withdraw. Don't demonize it. You actually would need so many instances. Hey, Aki, English is so colonial. Freaking hell. And I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm still speaking in English. But you get, I cannot be struggling in another man's language. Should be my own that I'm struggling, if any. Any effort goes to being African. So, what was I saying, ADHD?
Wow.
I'm conscious at least of the fact that I have forgotten. So it's just tracing myself back. What is the wow about?
You just remember your earrings and you
I need to go back to the conversation because that's what we go through. Freaking hell. And being Gen Z is an absolute task, but enjoyable. At least it's a job we actually would want to be in. Back to protests. You may feel, man, I'm so happy. Somebody reminded me what I was saying. You may feel the need to retract. Hi. You might feel the need to retract. You might feel the need to go back. Please do. Do not demonize it. And you'll also notice a lot of, maybe sometimes you might be hyperactive all the way through. If you see your neighbors feeling like, I'm feeling a little bit concerned. Kwani uko? Where? Government can be here. Also, I'm just in the house. What is going on? Yes. Assist others to retract too. I think I'm racing with my thoughts because I felt like I prepared to say a lot and then I've come here and they're just everywhere around the place. Thirdly, one of the few things that I think I usually recommend, when you're hydrating, hydrate the day before, meaning today, like the whole of today, I spent hydrating. And I wish I had done this live jana so that I could be able to say that, but since we're here anyway, you need to hydrate consistently, basically because I feel like, especially with the high adrenaline, you're also going to face a lot of low sugar levels. You need to hydrate. So also think about carrying glucose. Also think about buying water a few kilometers away from town, a few kilometers away from the outskirts of town, just in case we are hearing the poison water nonsense. Also, unaweza beba tu maji kutoka kwenye home. Also, what you can do with the water, you can add some bit of salt. I know uko na chumvi, si lazima uchukue ati sijui lemon, vitamins, Colgate, all the surely trauma. But yeah, Colgate too. Alafu ujue sasa this time mina jaribu kuambia we can't go there and come back. I don't feel like coming back when this thing is still like this. This is the last live this is my last pre-colonial live. Post-colonial life, we should be somewhere enjoying a suburbic experience, democratically, whatever. Also, I feel like it's also very important for me to strategically mention that when you put your Celtic water, what else was I lucky today? Again, the parents have arrived. There's usually a lot of tension Gen X's bring into the house. I don't know why. But centrally, I think we tend to cope up. But I'm not about to be a millennial that's traumatized, so we condemn again. And nikiandikwa kwa history books, you should. Sellotapes in their mouths with banners. That is also why we are here in this discussion, to try and also see how can we merge our thoughts into that particular perspective. What do we want to do tomorrow? I saw in some sections in Bangladesh, they were necessarily creating blockades, like what wanashikana hapa kwa shoulders, like unatengeneza an actual block, and you see that becomes very difficult for you to even say you're shooting because you'll have to everybody, which is against police act law. So I think also doing very, very compact. And in case you're Gava and you're watching, I think you should actually be taking notes, because be very mindful of tomorrow. It's about to be hard. It's about to be crazy. It's about to go south. English is not coming out of... Mwanzo ningeongea Kiswahili kwa sababu pia nimekuwa nikisikia huko kwenye X eti watu wanaongea kwa Kizungu sana, so hata ule mwenye mwana Kenya, jamani. Mkenya ambaye haelewi lugha ya Kimombo haelewi kitu kinachoendelea kesho. Nane ni nini? What do we call maandamano in Kiswahili? Man, mimi utakijosha gukutu ni wapi? You'd wonder why I'm failing to speak right now, but I'm also pretty anxious. Regardless, kama unaweza ni translate some of the things that I'm saying into other vernacular languages, like make sure you drink water and stuff like that, because people think it's a joke. People think it's actually why there's a lot of adrenaline that goes on into this process. It's because it's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of running, not too much. It's actually really, really fun, and it's actually really enjoyable. The first maandamano, there's a day. Yes, by the way, the first maandamano, there's a day we were doing the bash up on Ruby's Koinange Street. And let me be the first person to tell you firsthand that there was some Somalis, and that's why you know how tribeless this thing is. There were some Somalis who had gone there, I think, purely for lunch. Then all of a sudden, this ninja, especially when the tear gas came rolling, people were entering and ordering food on their bill. Like, I think they dropped 100 and something K. But they were paying. You are entering and you're like, are you a protester? Have you eaten food? Do you want water? Do you want lunch? You enter, you pay. I wish I could have found someone who experienced that. I think I got there and I was like, pretty interesting. It's everyone in every perspective. I'm also just probably listening to Eugene Wamalwa's, not his live really, but a panel where he was in, and he was conversing around the fact that Mother Karua has actually left Nane, the Azimio Coalition Party, and other political parties in the coalition have actually structured process, and they've started process on leaving the coalition, meaning the ODM is structurally being told you're alone when it comes to government. And I think as much as that would be very difficult to take into account, he was actually mentioning that they will be on the streets tomorrow, that they're tired of listening to us for telling them to stay home, that they can't stay home anymore. And I think these are perspectives where, when you think about them logically, there's a lot of awakening, okay, one way or another, even within the political class, as much as you cannot by no means trust them. Why? Because there's absolutely no way the political class will ever think about the citizens. It's their profits. So are we then able to... A lot of people have asked to join the live. Guys, okay, I promise, this is those lives that I'm very sensitive about, sharing out my energy so much, especially in multiple dimensions, because of tomorrow. I'm sparing... Actually, I've remembered. I wanted to also remind you guys, I listen to Dr. Sarah Mombi a lot. Not so that it can change my thinking really, but because as well as a political student, I get to think about these things in a bit more complex way, or rather non-ordinary way. So there are particular fronts to life, of course. There's a physical, there's a spirit, there's a heart, right? And I think we've also not dived into how spiritual tomorrow will be, and how important it is for us to attend it spiritually. How important it is for you to actually, before you sleep today, get into a word of prayer. And for us Muslims, actually make dua. And for Hindus and whatever, I've been telling everyone around me religiously that it is also a time of the most needed type of unison, like actual shields, angelic shields to protect protesters as we march forward. These guys are going to be sworn in at 9 a.m., meaning by like 9:15 a.m., a CS can easily write a letter and say, drop bombs on those kids, which is actually very okay. But the fact that all of them are going to be there at 9 a.m. should be important information for you to know where the direction should be heading. I'm not trying to say that, oh, we're supposed to go to protected zones and whatever, but I've not seen Bangladesh go to anarchy. I've actually seen citizens getting to reconstructing their own country. I've seen them fagiaing. I can't tell you how perfect that, I keep reminiscing, how do I say, that I'm dreaming of the revolution day, that we wake up and I just see, okay, the obituary is not even sensitive anymore. I think I want him to see this epic change, this epic time where Kenyans actually take it upon themselves to create change. Kenyans actually take to the streets to clean, because they've already shown us that cleaning the city is impossible for them. That people who work in the sewer system actually fix the sewers, that roads are actually built, that schools are actually built, like money actually goes to the correct places, that it does the work that it's supposed to do. Like, I can't wait for us to actually show them that we can make absolutely much more by doing the freaking right thing. I can't explain how much profit other countries just get out of doing things right. I can't explain. And I find it very narcissistic how kwanza mimi, this cabinet thingy was just a slap to my face. I was just like, yeah, you guys need to park and actually take the exit. Why am I saying that? It has to be very clear and immense and very dismissive of them for them to do these gimmicks they did for us with this cabinet thingy. And you're having a cabinet that is worth, is it trillion? I think it's a trillion. And when we're looking at the type of money and wealth accumulation that has happened to most of these individuals in the span of time that they have been government, we're talking of hundreds of millions in value addition. So we're looking at somebody who entered the cabinet or entered the government with approximately 90 million, for example. Right now, they're being vetted. They're in a whopping 969 million. And then you look at, do they own a manufacturing industry? Do they have maybe an assembly industry, a processing industry, whatsoever industry that would facilitate that high amount of income continuously? So that would mean you're probably making 200 million per day or something to get to these trillions that I'm seeing. So in my head, I'm like, where mimi kwanza uko kwa defense? Unaona uko kwa defense? Hizi stories zilishapangiwa kwa duve. It was true. Because you cannot tell me that the government should be dissolved. And by the way, if you don't know, you guys should go on Twitter and check Betty Kabari. They have done, it's a group, I think it's a group of lawyers or activists. I wouldn't know how to actually explain it because I got to see it today. They are giving out a very big and beautiful description of how to dissolve parliament and what the obligation of Martha Koome is, especially because this parliament has been unconstitutional for the longest, actually, even for its gender representation. It breaks all, we should have known from the word go, it breaks all the odds. It was supposed to be dissolved. So there's a whole process whereby citizens can actually get to do it, and I think it's a very good perspective to look at. And I just love how, by the way, tulikuwa tumefungwa macho sana. All these things are readily available. The information is readily available and well presented and well calculated into perspective. And I think it's just important for us to have an alignment on that degree when we're creating programs, when we're creating spaces. Like, there's a lot of changes that are happening continuously. English has actually decided it's not the day. Continuously. You can't keep interrupting now. Bye. But yeah, that's just majorly it. I've disoriented myself. But I think you guys understand what's going on. Anyway, let's focus on tomorrow. Yes. Well, it's just perspective oriented. That's why I'm saying I'm allowing today my ADHD to take the route, and I don't know why. Tomorrow, will I be in the medical tent? I think yes. You can pass by and say hi. Also, I usually run around giving people painkillers because sometimes, especially when you're feeling like your energy is too low, you probably just need some reboost or just need some sort of relief. But equally, I think it would be important, like I said, to carry. Please consent to it as I speak. It would be good for you to take Celtic salt water. It's very good. It will hydrate your cells, which is much, much better than actually you just dealing with the thirst. Then you should be good to go. I might say this idea a little bit late, but since these guys are so obsessed with us being tribeless and them trying to bring out their tribal essence, then it should have been a very good idea for people to show up in their traditional attires. Like you see the ones those guys do, the ones in Bomas, where the Kikuyu earbands, the Maasais can come with the shukas, whatever, and all of us together would be really amazing, because then in between the interims of us relaxing, or as we head there, we could have different communities sing their community songs together in unison, and we all dance along as we move on. It would have been very colorful because, again, there are no cultural adjustments to this. But since we're already here, if that is a perspective that could be taken, I think I will definitely wear in my attire tomorrow. Okay, plus the what's this called? Reflector. But it would be good to show up in that essence, because again, a cultural adjustment, especially in such perspectives, would come out very strongly, especially to a political class that does not believe in there being any tribeless essence. Also tomorrow, it's very, very good for you to come very early to town and leave very late, or come in at 10. When you get there at 10, go have coffee, Kwani. Go have coffee in strategic streets. Enjoy. Wakitungoja huko, tutaka nje. You can be anywhere. I kid you not, this country is yours. You can actually be in the middle of the road and sleep. Man, I was thinking we should all just sleep on these roads, like there's absolutely no entrance. That tungeza tungefika mbele yao, so that even those entourages that are going to State House to be what? To be appointed? Who appointed you again? You see? Bloody hell. We go block these roads. Wasifike. Wasifike. Remember the first meeting they had, they were late. I think I remember, was it Kashago who was calling them out? So tomorrow, strategic. Has to be very strategic. I think it's also important for us to make sure we protect our national architecture. Hakuna wase archives, hakuna kuingia archives. We protect archives. It holds a lot of our memories. I think there's also Murumbi's museum pale juu. But those are also very strategic points to be at within the movement, within the protest. They're very symbolic to the movement. By the way, in honor of today, some 20-something years back, bomb blast happened. So tomorrow is also be a good idea for us to even start a good reckoning there. But by the way, we can't leave these streets until there's first page news of change. And just in case this is the last time we're seeing each other, you have to make sure you survive for the revolution to continue. Just in case they decide to shoot all of us, the ones that remain have to literally continue. If a few of us die, majority has to come out and continue. It has to be straight like that. Because within which, especially for the ones that have chosen to go tomorrow, for those of us who are going tomorrow, I have sat down with myself the whole day. Death is as complicated, God forbid. Death is as complicated, but I will definitely die doing something that I absolutely love. People who have been with me in high school know I have always talked about how Kenya is a very big deal to me, as somebody who sees a lot of potential. And I am sure it's the same with all of us. We love this place so much in so many different intersectional ways. It doesn't have to be in terms of, oh, I'm ready to risk my life. That's not actually the thing. And me being very ready to be there does not necessarily mean that I'm not scared. Oh, definitely I am. But I'm doing it scared. I'm doing it tired. I'm doing it nuts. I'm doing it high. I'm doing it low. I'm doing it happy. I'm doing it sad. I'm doing it because I absolutely must, so that my siblings don't have to, so that my kids don't have to, so that absolutely. So today, find healing in having conversations that give you strength for tomorrow. Tomorrow we wake up, we yoga, piga nguo yako safi, socks, very comfortable shoes, march, head over to town, stay strategic places, have a Buddha guy you trust who can easily whoop you up, take you away in case you need to retract or withdraw or hydrate. You don't trust anything, trust your instincts. Move to spaces that are a bit open with more people. Don't be secluded. Don't be, fangirling alone. Record. If anyone is abducted, absolutely anyone, 5 million people should hold on to them. The police are too tired. They were not even paid. So, Kotisha Lilipo 185. hold on to the comrade, they will eventually let him go. As long as we do blockades of saving each other, we should be fine. So, buy a lot of water. Not just for yourself, but so that you can share. So that other people can actually enjoy as well. Ciao. I hope this is not offensive. Nakula tu. It's no bad. It would be very important for you to think about wearing clothes that match with the color of the flag. Often they're not, it's for political luck. But yeah, do a nice white, do a black, do a green, do a red. Don't let anyone say you fear. The Constitution fully protects you to be able to pick it, to be able to be there, to actually speak your mind and ask and demand for change. This is not even asking.